Welcome in, sorcerers. So what we have here is a big cardboard box. If you are into sorcery, you may recognize this card. This is for Team Covenant. Team Covenant is sort of an official distributor, I believe, of Sorcery TCG. So oftentimes you can find boxes for great prices, almost always in stock as far as I'm aware. And so I ordered from Team Covenant a box of beta. So we're gonna go ahead and crack open a box of beta for today's video. And you notice there's another box. I got the Gothic Precons. And I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the Gothic Precons, if I'm gonna like open them up and talk about them for the channel, aimed obviously at newer players to the game. It's funny to say that because I am so new to this game as well. But you know, let me just start off the video by saying thank you so much to the community, the commenters in my videos. I literally am blown away every time, even if I release a video that's small, like my most recent Blade Dancer deck tech. The people who are interactive and engaged, it's so refreshing. It's really nice to talk with y'all in the comments. Even if, you know, we're talking about things that were errors on my part of making that last deck tech. It feels almost like we're collaborating on building a better Blade Dancer deck. You're sharing your experiences with it. I'm going to take those into account. And when version 2.0 comes out, boy, that's going to be like way cooler than version 1. So yeah, I'm just, you know, hopefully you all enjoy these box openings and stuff as much as I do. I was looking forward to this all day. I was at work, and I knew this box. I saw the delivery notification online, and I was like, man, I cannot wait to get home and crack this thing open. And honestly, that is not a feeling I had with a lot of MTG or Magic boxes, especially later on. Like, certainly there were some boxes where I was excited about getting them open, but like I had this real like just childlike excitement to get home and crack open a box of sorcery, because I know that I'm going to use some of these cards and decks. I know that it's going to fulfill, like, you know, making a lot of my content or decks better. Yeah, and I just love the product so much. I still am very much head over heels in love with sorcery. So here we go. Let's crack the seal on some Contested Realm. Woo! I'm psyched to pop into this box. All right, we've got our traditional little starter pack. It comes with tokens. It comes with a rubble and a foily sorcerer. I'm just not even going to worry about popping this one open. You've seen these before, I believe. If you've watched any videos, there aren't randomized cards in there, so that's why I'm not going to bother about popping it open. All right, so there we go in the top of the frame. I will try to do a good job showing these off, keeping the camera fairly stable, but diving right in. Pack number 1, Slubmarig Giantess, Wings of Invention, Phase Assassin, and Mountain Giant is our first rare, our elite. Mountain Giant's a pretty fun card. You can put it on all 4 locations all at once. It's very flavorful. And so we'll kind of speed run through some of these ordinaries, although I love having another roaming monster. I've only got 2 of those. That's a fun card. And if we can find, like, you know, if we have foils or anything like that, that's why we'll dig through those ordinaries a little slower than just throwing them to the side. Maybe even, I don't anticipate, but maybe even a curio. We'll see some weird card that's like, oh, what's weird about that one? It'll be worth a ton of money. Monster Hunter, Call to War. Search your spellbook for an exceptional mortal, reveal it, put it in your hand. This is the first one I've ever opened to this, so that's why I kind of stuck on it for a second. Shifting Sands. This is a card that's great. It allows you to reactivate your Desert Genesis abilities. There's a great fire deck called Fury Road, which, if you've ever seen Mad Max Fury Road, imagine that in form of cards. And so Shifting Sands and activating deserts and stuff, I believe, is a pretty big part of that deck as well. That sounds like a really fun deck to build. Witherwing Hero is our elite, and let's go through and see what we can find in terms of any foils or weird curios or anything like that. Critical Strike, I'm sure I have this. It's an ordinary, right? But it seems new because I haven't used it in a deck. Apprentice Wizard, I just love this guy. He's great. So I hope that you all are having a pleasant day. This video should come out on a Friday morning so that you can all enjoy. And Gnome Hollows. Units with 3 or more power can't enter this site. I haven't built a deck with that yet. I love getting little duels. These are fun cards to have. They're useful in deck building. It makes 2 different thresholds. So this one is air and fire. Other nearby minions lose all non-basic abilities. Basic abilities being like, I think, intercept and attack, movement. But any non-basic abilities, Sisters of Silence will take out. Very cool. I have not had a Sisters of Silence before. Let's look through these. Wall of Fire, Blink, Grapple Shot. There's my 4th Grapple Shot I was looking for. And a Flame Caller. Nice. So this is the one that comes in the pre-con for beta. You will get this as well as 3 other avatars if you buy the pre-constructed decks for beta. But not a bad one. It allows you to utilize your graveyard and exile cards to send a fireball across the field. Don't think it sees a lot of competitive play, but sorcery is mostly casual anyway. So Marine Voyage. Oh, love that. I only had one of these. This is a wonderful card to have. It's very powerful. Airborne, damage dealt by Dapper Vampire Strikes heal you. A 4 power, 5 mana flyer. Very great. Love that. Ennui Undine. Can be very big in a straight water deck. And then we've got a Mixed Terra. It allows you to sort of like make any minion into, or make any earth spell cost 3 less, and threshold doesn't matter, which is really sweet. And then we go through Land Surveyors, always great to have. I was thinking about cards that you really want to have lots of copies of, and I feel like Land Surveyors is one of them. Like, you will probably, if you're building multiple decks, things like Common Sense as well, things that you would want to use 4 ofs and ordinaries, you might want to get like extra copies. Just order them online if it's too expensive to try and buy a bunch of boxes. Just order these ordinaries, 8, 12 of them instead of just 4 of, because you'll probably want to use 4 land masses in multiple decks. It's a great spell. Same with Land Surveyors. Being able to draw that site is helpful. Telekinesis. Love the art. Ooh. An Aqueduct. I haven't had one of these before either. This is a mixture site, so that's wonderful to have, just like I talked about earlier. We've got a Flanking Maneuver. Teleport any number of allies at one location to another location a chess knight's move away. I absolutely love that, because there's a lot of similarities with sorcery and chess in that battlefield dimension. And then you draw a card, so it cantrips, but just being able to move up 2, over 1, an L shape. Wonderful. Bottomless Pit. Never owned it. Whenever a non-airborne minion enters this site, kill it. Wow, that's an incredible stopper. You want to play that on your front line. Oh, we see a foil. I'm excited. So where are we getting? What are we getting? Whew, Highland Falconer. That's cool. A little foil elite. Look at that shine. Genesis. You may search your hand and spellbook for a beast with airborne and mana cost 2 or less and summon it here. Shuffle if needed. It seems like a really fun card. I don't know if it's good, but 2 bodies, very cheap mana cost. I mean, that seems awesome. And the texture is so nice. I'm just always, the texture of the fonts, if it's raised a little bit, it's so cool. All right. So these other ones over there. So other news in the world of Rule Zero, as we go through these cards. Dodge roll, very cool. I mean, almost like evokes Frank Frazetta art, the guy himself, if you look at it kind of closely. An attacked ally may move to another adjacent location to evade the attack. So there you go. There's an instant speed effect. All the haters in the comments will be like, oh, there's no instant speed effects. So there's one. Minecart Madness. Jude was a big fan of this one. And then we have Court Jester, another new card. At the end of your turn, each nearby avatar discards a random card. Seems like it could be fun. Tricksy. I like it. I'm looking forward to figuring out how to use that. I just love these cards so much. Yeah, I got jealous. I saw huge box, and I was like, oh, I gotta get some of that, because it opened so many cards I'd never seen before. I was like, oh, there's room for me to get multiple boxes in this game. We've got starting out with a bedrock. Can't be moved, destroyed, or modified. A watchtower. Enemy units atop nearby sites lose stealth. Ooh, I've never seen this one. Tring Constrictor, exceptional beast with crushing embrace. 3 power, tap. Tring Constrictor may take a step, then it constricts target minion here and carries it disabled. The next time Tring Constrictor would untap, it instead kills the minion if it's still constricted. That sounds awesome. Kind of gives this feeling of like, we are slowly sucking the life out of this minion. And I love this. This is totally going to go in my Blade Dancer deck. Bearer has movement +7. Nuts. Such a nuts card. I don't know if it's good or not, but it seems really funny. So that's our first unique. And then we get another foil. It's a foil Bile-Imp. That's cool, because that does see a lot of play. I tend to sell some of my foils on TCG Player. And maybe, we can do a video about ways that you can make some of your money back after spending it all on boxes in another video. But yeah, I love the foils. They're beautiful, but I'm not the kind of player who's like, I gotta foil this deck out. There's certain things I do that with. Magic Cube, for instance, something I'm going to keep for a long time, but I'm so all over the place with decks. I don't know if I can keep a single deck to be like the one. So I'm just going to try and sell those foils and make back some of the box money. Blaze, Moon Clan Werewolf, Cillian Cyclops doesn't strike back while defending, and a Raytanis Titan. Genesis, strike each enemy here. Can be pretty powerful, and a strike is, of course, like a first strike in Magic, so it just punches and doesn't receive damage back. Sage Crabs, one of the most flavorful, wonderful cards, can only move themselves sideways, and the art is just fantastic. A little dude just being attacked by these little crabs. Really funny. And on to the next pack. So in terms of like the channel, obviously we want to get to the gameplay videos. Had a little hiccup with trying to communicate with the LGS on getting that done, and so I think we have a plan worked out. And I have a 4-player mat coming, so I think I want to kind of jump into having maybe one gameplay video every month is my hope. We're not going to try and go too deep because it's a very intense production factor to do that, but I think I can work out time between job and filming other videos of one good gameplay video, different avatars being used, maybe like 2 or 3 different pairs all back to back to back, so it'll be a little bit of a longer video, maybe showing 2 to 3 games. But I really enjoy those, and I think they help new players. So shout out in the comments below if there's anything you want to see from those gameplay videos that feels reasonable for a novice filmmaker like myself. Iceberg, never had it. Minions occupying nearby sites can't submerge or surface. Freeze them over. Headless Haunt, we're going to travel the void, and I think that's one of my next decks I want to build is a void-centric deck. Font of Life, and Meteor Shower. Again, I've never owned this. Target 3 sites that share no borders, deal damage to each unit atop sites in each area of effect. And this shows the damage that they will do on the grid in the different places you choose. That's pretty fun. 9 mana, but it sounds fun. All right. Oh, Grey Wolves. You can have infinite of these in a deck. They get 1 power for each other Grey Wolf nearby. I'm going to bite the bullet and at some point make Grey Wolf deck. It's just going to happen. I don't think I can resist the allure of a cheap gimmick. So, good or not? Probably not. I don't know. But it's hard for me to pass up on such low-hanging fruit. Bane Widow. Beautiful. I love this card. Just killing minions. I think we've talked about it before. It reminds me of Ravenous Chupacabra and Magic. Fate Changeling. Another great card. I love these uncommons I'm getting. Maybe summon to any site. Genesis, you may return a minion here to its owner's hand. So that's just excellent. Cornerstone, really cool site. You can play it in any corner of the realm. And Sneak Thief is our elite mortal. Bungles and borrows stealth tap. Steal an artifact out of the hands of another target unit here. Stay stealthed when you do that, which usually that would break stealth, but Sneak Thief doesn't matter. Sweet. Got some more polar bears, so we can build the deck where the polar bears get to travel south and then come up over the north horizon to attack your foe. That might be fun to look at. So many things. The endless possibilities of old sorcery. We got multiplayer games coming up. We got regular games coming up. We got new products and new boxes, and yeah, we're just new decks. There's so many things to talk about that I can't wait to talk about with you, not you. Although if you make some funny comments, we'll talk about those. Free City, Leap Attack, Summoning Sphere. Glad to have another one of these. And then non-foil version of our foiled Highland Falconer, our elite mortal. We could play 2 in a deck. Maybe make some little summoning decks where we just summon little extra minions onto the battlefield. The Falconer is not alone in that trait. There's like Brother Knight. But I think I'm going to trade Brother Knight to Jude, because Jude's he loves that Templar deck. And I think, I'm going to help him build that up with my extras. And so trade him for some of his cool Void cards, maybe. Secret Tunnel. Burrowed allies can move as if they were adjacent to your other sites. Flood. And Unlikely Alliance. Elite Magic forges a strange coalition. Draw a card for each rarity among allied minions. I love that some of these cause you to build your deck in a unique and interesting way that kind of leads you to that. That's a cool feature of Sorcery. I love that they pay attention to the rarity of cards. That's not something that Magic really does. And I think there's some design space there that they use in a flavorful way. Root Spider. I had a commenter just tell me on the my Ninja Assassin deck tech that I need some Root Spiders in there. And so this is my second one I've ever pulled. I'm loving it. I mean, the uncommons are, I feel like, off the charts for me right now. As far as usefulness, I don't know about finances, but usefulness for sure. Angel's Egg is a card I love, and I can play 2 in a deck, so now this is my second one. I might be able to use that in the Blade Dancer deck. Let's go through these. More Polar Bears. We now officially have enough Polar Bears to make everything happen. To make a full deck, or full 2 decks, maybe even at this point, of Polar Bear. All right, Phantom Steed. Speaking of Void decks, and another Void creature, Airborne Movement +3, and Void Walk. This thing shoots through the terrain across the map. Seems fun. Only 1 power, but it's got to be something to do with that, huh? Iron Shackles. May be conjured to a target enemy minion. Bearer is disabled. So if I Iron Shackle at a target enemy minion, do they automatically kind of bear this? I use quotes. This card's a little confusing because I thought they would need to like pick that thing up, but apparently they don't. If I just play this relic on them, do they already become, shackled, so to speak? I'm guessing that's the only way this card would work. That's an exceptional. And speaking of more chains, this is like the chain pack. We've got Chains of Prometheus, an elite monument to the arrogance of man. Whenever a player draws a card, that player taps their strongest untapped minion. Oh, that seems good. Be sure of this, O young ambition. All mortal greatness is but disease. Herman Melville. I'm a big fan of Moby Dick. I don't know if that was written in Moby Dick, because I don't remember the 1 million words that are in it, but I do love that book. Foil Poison Nova. Woo! That's a hit of dopamine right there. Oh, yeah. I mean, this card sees a ton of play. I almost wish I had a non-foil version, but this will buy a non-foil version, and then some probably, on the secondary market. It's the kind of thing that, it's a staple. I've sold like an Autumn Unicorn. I've sold, these sort of stapley kind of cards you want 4 of. And I think Poison Nova is certainly one of those. I think they call them like unique exceptionals. It's a card that's so good that you can play multiple of in a deck. So I could see somebody buying that. There being some demand out there. Kite Archer. Cone of Flame. Geyser. Sarawan Hydra. Immune to non-lethal damage. You got to take this thing out and hit it for 6. Or at least for have a lethal creature hit it with a poison knife or something like that. Shooting through. I don't even know what I'm looking for in here. I mean, Poison Nova is a pretty sweet hit, but I don't know if there's like very specific beta cards that I really like in the rare and unique slot that I really want. So we're just kind of enjoying the journey. Recall. I don't even know if I've had this card before. Teleport any number of allied minions to the caster's location. It's kind of cool, I would imagine, in a pinch if you need some defense really quick. Rally to me. It could be a good card in that regard. It's Finax Berserker. House Arn Bannerman. Doomsday Device. I haven't seen this. A unique device of mutually assured destruction. Doomsday Device enters the realm with 6 counters. At the end of each player's turn, remove a counter. When the last is removed, it detonates, and boy does it detonate. Deals damage to each unit at all affected locations. That is wild. That sounds super fun to try and use. It feels like a card I will use in my multiplayer deck because the board's going to be much bigger. The grid's going to be 7 by 7. So we got a lot more space to play around in. And we got another sorcerer. I have a whole collection of sorcerers since they give you one in a box. Sometimes when I bite these wrappers, I worry about swallowing plastic. It feels like an irrational fear, but I did just get a piece of plastic in my mouth, so that's fun. Sling Pixies. Bridge Troll. Whenever an enemy attacks Bridge Troll, they must spend all of their remaining mana to give you on your next turn, and demands a toll. Fireball. And Magellan Globe. Opposite edges of the realm are connected. So I'm assuming that means side to side as well, not just, the north-south. Fascinating. Well, that can go in the Polar Bear deck. An Explorer deck, where polar bears just travel the world. Looks fun. Wave Shaper Foil. Is that worth anything? I don't know, but Wave Shaper is a pretty decent avatar. Let's talk about her. Tap, flood a site near your body of water until you do so again. The minions, tap minions without submerge there. They don't untap the next time they would. So this can kind of do some board control on some of the biggest foes your opponent might have. That feels pretty solid for a foil pull, pretty powerful. So I'm excited about that. And then we just get some basic stuff. Nope. There we go again. It's hard to keep these things separated when I get to talking. So that seems like a pretty cool pull. Foil Wave Shaper. Neat. I mean, that foil is really pretty too. I mean, that's the kind of foil that it's hard for me to say I want to sell that. I mean, that is just so... it just shimmers. It's like a little jewel. Speaking of jewels, I guess we're searching for a core. Hoping for a core. See if we get one. Lucky Charm. Divine Healing. Mudflow. And Riddle Sphinx. Graphic for YouTube. Riddle Sphinx offers a conundrum to your opponent where they get to choose whether or not they put the bottom card on the top or not. And you get to see what that bottom card was, so you can kind of play a game where you're like, I pick up the top card, I look at it, and I choose whether or not to put it on the bottom. If it's good, I have to play a mind game. Be like, am I going to put my really good card on the bottom and let them give me the top? I think probably in strategy, you just want to leave it on top if it's a good card. If it's a bad card, just use it like a scry and put it on bottom, and then you get value no matter what. Scavenging Fiend. Phantasmal Shade, Mariner's Curse, and a Sinkhole. Let's destroy some lands. Everybody loves that. Let's destroy those sites. And we get another foil, and it is. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, that feels good. I feel like 2 foil played avatars. Look at that thing. Death Speaker is pretty cool. You may cast 1 dead minion each turn, and you may do that for 0 cost if you're on Death's Door. So you're really good value right there at the end if you're on your last rope. I mean, that seems like a heck of a cool hit out of this box. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We got some great uncommons that I needed, like the Dapper Vampire. Just fun stuff like that. And we're also getting these cool foil avatars. Man, that is neat. Chain Lightning. Tide Naiads. The art just pops on this. Sunken Treasure. And, this is awesome. I didn't have one of these, and I wanted it so bad. It's one of Jude's rares that he pulled, and I was so jealous. The art is really pretty. Michael Nagipal? I don't know how to pronounce it, but you did a great job. It looks like a textbook biology drawing in some ways, but it's got some character to it. I love it. Why is this game so good, y'all? Sound off in the comments below. It just feels... I don't know. It fills something up inside of me. It just feels good to look at these cards and imagine playing them. Vanguard Knights have +2 power if they are alone and the furthest forward of your units. I feel like this is going to go great in Jude's deck. I don't know if he pulled one, but that seems like a good pull for his Backstab. Evocative. Dwarven Forge. Anyone may conjure weapons and armors here, and for 1 mana less. Okay, that's a fire site, but it feels like I want to play that in like Blade Dancer or something. Maybe I need to retool some Blade Dancer here shortly. And I think I will, because there were some cards in there that I played mistakenly. I was corrected in the comments, and I really appreciate that, actually. I asked for that in the video. I think it was Gift of the Wolf. You cannot use that to cast on your avatar. Your avatar is not a minion. Perfect. I wanted another one. I got another one. This is what happens. You manifest. I needed another flaming sword. I got another flaming sword. I mean, this is all just turning up Rule 0. Mud Flow. And Yokai Kappas. This is like Ninja Turtles, huh? Okay, Elite Beasts imperil this pond. Discard a water site, untap Yokai Kappas, use only once per turn. In the cool winter months, when cucurbits don't grow, Kappas of the Yokai Forest find other means of refreshment. And they're eating a body, which I didn't even notice until just now. Look at that. Wild. I don't even know what to think about that. We're just going to keep moving on, not even paying attention. We got another Common Sense and a Grey Wolves. Love to have those comments. I mean, I think that's what makes commons feel great in Sorcery, is that you can run 4. You know, a lot of times in other games, you'll want to run 4 of all these rares and mythics. But in Sorcery, you almost have to run commons or ordinaries, because that's the only thing you can run 4 of. And so there's really useful, helpful commons and ordinaries in Sorcery, and that's awesome. Frontier Settlers, I was thinking about building some kind of deck around these. Tap, reveal, and play the topmost site to an adjacent void or rubble. Frontier Settlers move there and lose this ability. So thinking about maybe Geomancer as an avatar for this, and we can show Geomancer up here. Deals in like producing rubbles that you can now play lands to. But I had only had 1 before, now I have 2. I mean, here's a bad situation. Evil Presence, Recurring Specter, and Elite Spirit takes an Eerie Encore. Can't defend, maybe cast from your cemetery. Fascinating. I don't know. I mean, it's only 1 power, but it just keeps coming back. Pretty cool. And we got a foil Gothic Tower. I mean, that's pretty cool. People play towers, right? So that's going to be another one. I mean, but it's, you know, I say that I sell these, but as I look at this thing, the Smeagol in me is like, oh, maybe I keep the Precious. I don't know. But with only 1, it does feel a little mismatched. And I don't know if I have the drive in me to be like, I need to get 4 Gothic Tower foils. I don't think that part exists inside of me. So probably sell it to somebody who needs that fix. Windsylph, Airborne, Air Spellcaster, really cool. Accursed Albatross, Dalcian Phalanx can only move forward. And then we have a Polar Explorers. Very cool. This is my second one, which is the max that you can run in my Polar Bear deck. So that's a thing, and that's going to happen for sure. All right. Woo! Lightning Bolt, always good to have. The funny thing about the Curios is I know there's some that kind of like, they're glaring, they stare at you, and you're like, oh, of course that's Curio. And I think there's some more subtle ones. So I'm hoping that we have some non-subtle ones if I ever get lucky enough to pull one. Autumn Unicorn, Poisonous Dagger, great card. Give to your skeletons, and now your skeletons are lethal, for instance. Very useful. Another Raised Dead, that's great. I'd love to have my 3rd one finally so I can run the full Necromancer Gambit. And then a Nimbus Gen. Discard a spell, deal 3 damage to another random unit here. Solid. Solid flyer. Good stuff. Got another Apprentice Wizard. Loving it. All right, I think we're in our last stack here. We're in the home stretch. Obviously, there's a little piece of me that's anxious about, like, doesn't every box come with a core? That's probably not correct. So I'll just try to tamp that anxious piece down. We got our 3rd Rolling Boulder, though, so that's fun. It means I can finally live that dream. Drought, a good sideboard tech card. Shield Wall, until your next turn, each ally takes 1 less damage for each other ally it is nearby. And then our rare is Island Leviathan. Big monster. For 8 water threshold, transform into a monster, place flooded rubble underneath it. So this is something that comes in the precons, but still pretty useful card. Another foil. Ooh, now these are the kind of hits that, like, I don't know how much you know about Sorcery, but if you're at all invested or connected in this game, you have been blown out by this card, or you have blown out somebody else with this card. And having this and a foil Poison Nova. I mean, these foils are what makes these boxes worth it value-wise. As I've opened them up, I noticed, like, if you get those solid foils, like, your box just pays for itself. And sometimes literally, because I am actually probably going to sell these cards off, and those are going to help pay for my sorcery addiction. And also, I can buy new versions of the cards. Like, you know, this may be worth 3-4 times what a regular Whirling Blades is, or maybe even more. Sometimes it's like way higher. And in that case, then I can just buy all the Whirling Blades I want. They just won't be foil. I'm okay with that. It's a way to economically do things in this game. Be a little responsible. Monastery Gargoyle. Tragedy Worrywart. Units nearby take no damage from magic spells. Magnetic Muzzle. I've never seen it. I just gasp anytime I see a card I've never seen before. An Elite Relic of Disquieting Silence. Bearer loses all non-basic abilities and can't drop Magnetic Muzzle. At the end of each player's turn, if Magnetic Muzzle is abandoned, that player attaches it to a nearby minion. Interesting. So it attaches itself to a minion, and then that minion sort of loses all of its abilities. Fascinating. All right. Grey Wolves. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, people. The Grey Wolves deck is coming. I only need to buy like 10 more boxes. No, actually, I could just sell a Whirling Blades and buy a ton of Grey Wolves. Seems like a real downgrade if you're worried about the finance aspect. But if you're loving the dream aspect of sorcery, then it's a great dream to have. Wildfire, fantastic. Another Windmill. Love to have these double lands. They make casting things so easy. And then we also get another land. You get to hear my cat in the background. Primordial Spring. It's got a line down the middle. I don't know if that's part of the art. We'll have to take a look. But an elite site, Primeval Bounty. If you control fewer sites than any opponent, you draw 3 sites. Seems like a real good land advantage card. Maybe that's something you could play in Blade Dancer because you're not playing a ton of sites. So it'll kind of help fill your hand. But if you're playing it in like Druid or something that you ramp with, probably not the best card because you will never be able to trigger it. Because you'll always be ahead on mana if you're running sort of land or site advantage cards. Love it. Got a non-foil Poison Nova so that I can run. Now I have 3 officially with the foil, and maybe, I won't have to work as hard or pay as much money out to get the cards I need for decks. Crave Golem. Look at that thing. It's monstrous. Undertow. And then another Void Creature, an Ultimate Horror. This is my second copy. It is a unique, so I don't need 2. Maybe this one will be some trade fodder. But unique, it's interesting. So like for people who haven't seen it, 8 mana, 6 power, Airborne, Voidwalk, Genesis, summon each other dead Voidwalk minion to a nearby site or void. So that's definitely a part of a void deck, if there is such a thing. And we're going to try and make it happen here on this channel. Stay tuned for all the wild and wacky things we can try to build. After this is done, after the box opening, we'll go through and like kind of separate out the uniques and the foils to see what we got. That's interesting. It feels like it opened backwards. Vantage Hills. Gyre Hippogriffs. Stormy Seas. That's a good hit, right? Courtesan Theus. Unique. During the next turn, each player is controlled by the previous one. I think she's worth a little bit of money. And you get to control people's turns, so that's a great effect. Kind of mess them up. Get them ready to be conquered. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs remaining. Core or bust. Actually, it's not a bust. We did pretty well with this one, I think. The foils really pulled through. And another Torshimar trinket. So now we have 3 of these officially, which is the maximum you can run in the deck. In some ways, this is an experiment to see how viable it is to build decks through box opening. And I mean, I feel like it is pretty viable if you can buy like a few boxes of each set. If you can afford to do that. If not, buy singles. But I feel like I'm getting a lot of the cards I would need to make a viable, just like not super hyper competitive maybe, but a reasonable intermediate deck that I can hold, I can hold up, not feel embarrassed by. True Sight Crossbow. Bearer has ranged and can target stealth units. Neat. Shield Maidens, another card I've never seen before. Nearby allies take 1 less damage. Good art. Dwarven Digging Team. And Sky Baron. 6 mana, 6 power, airborne. All other minions lose airborne. Wow, this is the only guy in the skies. And do we get any foils or crazy curios? I don't know. No, we do not. Here we go. 4 packs in. I'd say that I'm feeling something, but that would be a lie. I don't know what I don't think I expect anything necessarily. Wind Blast, cool. Exceptional magic of weighty weather. Push everything in top sights 1 step in a cardinal direction. Love the art. Super evocative. Again with Michael Nagy Paul. He's killing it. I'm loving his stuff. And Hounds of Onderos. Airborne, burrowing, submerge, voidwalk. Nearby enemies permanently lose stealth. From Hell's Heart, they stab at thee. I mean, that seems really cool. Goes in a void deck for sure, I would think. Another foil. It is a Wall of Fire. That one's not as exciting, but it is an ordinary aura, and that might be just what somebody needs out there in the world. Do we get any special curios? No, we do not. I mean, if we get a curio in this, that would be nuts. You get to see a grown man pass out on YouTube. And I would leave that in the video. I wouldn't edit that out at all. That would be hilarious. Clamor of Harpies. Backstab. Oh, I love the artwork from Dan Seagrave. It feels so otherworldly to me, like his lands. They call this a Dutch angle in filmmaking when it's sort of off kilter. It gives you a feeling of unease. Dan Seagrave is the best. He reminds me of Mark Tadine. His style is very, like, there's an organicness to the buildings and structures that he makes that feels sort of like Lovecraftian. I can't wait to see what he does later. You may pull apart a partial row or column to make a void in which to play this. So this kind of like separates and forms out of the realm. That's so cool. This game, the flavor is off the charts. It's just so much fun to even think about these cards, just from a purely sort of, sedentary, thoughtful position, just to ponder the cards. Outback Strider, exceptional mortal finds solace in solitude, moves freely between land sites not occupied by other units. Buried Treasure, X marks the spot for these exceptional relics. Very cool. Flaming Sword. Now I'm flaming sworded up. I have 3 flaming swords. Woo! And a cool land. Dome of Osiris, a unique site of sacred communion. This site and minions here cannot be attacked. Place of protection. Love it. I'm going to have to go through these cards later and just sort of like try to ponder them. Think about what I want to do with them all. Here's our final pack, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Here's the proof that it's not every box has a core, but it's okay. We had some really cool hits in this one. I appreciate y'all watching. Felbog Frogmen can leap entirely over adjacent sites in 1 step. Another dual land. I call these dual lands. I mean, they give me 2 different types of threshold, which is very helpful in a multicolored deck, so I love that. And I don't know why I put it in the elite spot. Orman Harpooners and Rest in Peace. Whenever a spirit or undead minion occupies affected land sites, burrow it. Bone Rebel. And another foiled end, a Belfry. An elite monument. At the end of your turn, untap all nearby allies. Kind of keeps everybody in a state of vigilance. An elite monument to common conviction. Very cool. So let's see what we got as far as the total wrap up of our uniques. And we got Dome. And Courtesan Theus. Ultimate Horror. Tadpool Pond. Doomsday Device. 7 League Boots. Witherwing Hero. So the elites feel like they're not, blowing the socks off, but I think where we really came through, although Tadpole Pond is just stunning. I love that. I think we're really coming through as foils. We got Belfry, Wall of Fire, Whirling Blades, absolute super hit. Gothic Tower, good hit. Death Speaker foil, very cool. Wave Shaper foil. Poison Nova foil. And these are all like super hits in my mind. Vile Imp, Seas Play, so I imagine some people want to foil that out because it's beautiful. And a Highland Falconer. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 foils. I mean, these boxes are just so much fun to open. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you in the realm at a later date, probably 3 to 4 days from now. Until then, have a great one.